Dr. Tan, I've been running two venture capital firms here since 2003, one Upstream Ventures and one Extreme Ventures, which is, thanks to the NRF, we're one of the 6 funds that was launched under the early stage venture funding schemes. I've seen the ecosystem develop tremendously since 2003, and there's a lot of positives. I think one of the challenges that we face as venture funds itself as an industry is simply scale. And we've talked about scale in terms of management teams, but we're also talking about scale in terms of size of companies and scale of the exits as well. So I guess since it's all intertwined in terms of our ability to achieve scale as investors and to achieve the types of returns that are expected is going to be difficult at this moment in time, simply because I think we don't have many of the follow-on funding mechanisms that can take our companies to the very large type of exits that we see maybe in the US, IPOs, or in China. And that's a reflection of the size of the market that we have here. If we can't achieve that scale, neither can the sizes of the fund then subsequently scale to be able to grow as a business ourselves and to be able to then help our startup companies grow to that type of scale. So the issue is, one, we don't have the depth of the liquidity markets. Number two, the challenge that I face, for example, raising funds simply from our own institutional investors, insurance companies, pension funds. We feel that there's obviously a lot of other options on the table, such as commodities, real estate, and other comparatively low risk investments that provide equal or better returns in shorter time frames. So that's a structural challenge that we face. So if we can't get the scale in terms of our returns, that obviously won't attract the institutional investors. And so we end up effectively creating companies that will sell between or sub 100 million enterprise values that will plug into the value chains of larger companies. And can we accept that, for example, in Singapore, that we cannot make 200, 300 million, 500 million types of companies? Can the entrepreneurs actually accept that and rather view ourselves as being the best of breed of creating highly innovative solutions to fit into a global value chain and accepting enterprise values between 20 to 80 million? I don't see anything wrong with that, but of course as an investor I'd like to grow bigger, but I'm just wondering, it's a question that what can be done to encourage greater liquidity in the public markets and to attract also our own local institutional investors to fund the local VC market here and fund that growth?
Well, I think the point, of course, is that one has to operate within the limits of what is possible. This may be possible in Singapore, but conditions change. I remember I know Israel very well. I've been there for many times. Israel for a long time was just in a business of just creating startups, make it viable, and sell it to American companies. They never had any big companies of their own. And the reason was perhaps the peculiar circumstances of that country. In Singapore, of course, scale is a big problem because we are a small nation here, 5 million. To expand, you have to go beyond Singapore. But it's not impossible. Just example, I mean, if you take a company like Hyflux, for example, which is a technology company based on one particular area, which is water. They have been very successful, growing from relatively small company. When Oliver Lam started, it was a very small company, but they made a breakthrough in China. Now they are in the Middle East, and it's quite a large company. So it's not impossible. It is difficult. For technology companies, one advantage is that growing beyond Singapore, in today's world of real-time interconnecting, that is, you can be connected to Europe or to the United States while based in Singapore. And when I was going around, I met one or two entrepreneurs who actually started in Singapore now, but who have expanded to Silicon Valley. I hope that they will be successful. And I think if we keep all of this up, you cannot artificially create this. All you can do is to create the right conditions, encourage startups, have a few successful. Some will sell to other people. I hope some will have the ability to stick to it. But I'm quite encouraged because some of you have been with the same company for 10 years, and I think at least one of them, I would say, has not a dinosaur, but it's certainly, with that long of time, it's no longer a startup, it's a medium-sized enterprise. Hopefully one day it will be a large-sized enterprise, and we wish you, and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.